everybody. We want to welcome you into Runner's Recap with Coach Rod Barnes. We are in episode 11 today.
11.
I know. Again, one day we'll stop counting because we'll probably forget. But until then, we are in episode 11. Yeah. And the Roadrunners are feeling good right now, I would imagine, on a 3-game win streak, coming off that win over Lamar at home. Yes. How do you feel today heading into this next week?
I feel good. You know, I think our guys, the last game was probably one of our more complete games from start to finish, even though I thought Lamar played really well in the first half. I thought the way we liked to play, the tempo of the game, I thought it fit our team, and I thought we had some guys had really good games, and I felt just really good about the overall, you know, where our team is right now, their confidence level, and we're pretty healthy. But hopefully, you know, we'll finish strong before we go on Christmas break.
And it was a confident second half for sure against Lamar. And Lamar, I would think, too, looked very athletic in that first half. Did that shock you at all from what you saw from them the year prior, or was it what you expected?
It was what I expected. I was just a little surprised of some of the guys that they added to their team. They added guys that were better than some of their starters were last year. So that was a kind of surprise, the depth that they had in their team. But their athleticism, they came in as the 5th offensive rebounding team in the country. That's really good, and I think they may have gotten 15 against us. But, you know, I thought our guys handled themselves well. And again, I thought the second half, I thought we just kind of wore them down. And, you know, as a coach, that makes you feel really good.
And also in the second half, we had history made with Damian Durham hitting the record for the most threes for the Roadrunners program.
Yes.
What was that like, sitting on the sidelines there watching him knock that down?
Well, I cheered, obviously, not because of history, because we needed those three points. But no, it's always gratifying as a coach to see history, especially guys that you coach, and you know, at least for a while, you know, those records are going to be there. But just to see the excitement in our young men when something happened. And our whole team was really excited about the win, but they were more excited, or just as excited, about Damian being an all-time three-point leader.
Yeah, that's awesome for him. And another good game for another player was Taze Moore. He was bouncing around. He looked, again, we always joke, but I am a fan of those dunks, and the kid was throwing them down. At least he had 3 from when I was there.
Yes.
So what did you see from him, and how excited were you to see someone kind of new on the court having a big game?
Well, you know, I'm excited for him because, you know, that was a kid that had an injury that was out over 600 and some days. Being off the court, and now to see him back. I kind of anticipated a really good game from him because he had been practicing well. He's really starting to, you know, what we would like to say as coaches, kind of get his legs back under him, but he's really just getting into playing shape. But it was clear that he was the best athlete on the court, and I think that's going to happen most of this year, but I think he probably enjoyed dunking more than he does anything. So I can see why, you know, you're excited about it. And he's always talking about you know, I'm going to win the dunk contest. I'm going to dunk on somebody tonight. And he told me in the game, he said, Coach, I'm going to dunk on somebody. He didn't dunk on anyone, but he did dunk on their team. So, but he's a fun guy to watch, and I just think he's only going to get better.
Yeah, and just mentioning that, how fun it is, also is a little bit of hesitation, again, when you see your players go up for dunks, because I've seen it before, we all have. And there was one of those dunks that he had there where he kind of got up a little too high, almost bounced out. Are you kind of like, ugh, don't do that, or do you just love letting the athleticism fly?
Well, I actually just like to take the 2 points, and let's just lay it in and get back, and just make sure we get the layup, as we call it, I guess, back in the ancient years, you know, years ago, like in the old ages.
How many years are we talking about?
In the old ages, you know, this layup. Just give me the layup off the glass and it's fine. But he is, you know, that's one of the things our fans like. It fires our team up. But every time I have a guy in the open court, especially him, because that's the way he got hurt, I am so concerned that something may happen as far as an injury. But, you know, after it's down, after they land, I'm excited too. But just give me 2 points.
I just came for the points.
I just came for the points. That's it.
I came for the flashiness, but I can totally understand the coaches probably the ones like, but he had a great game. So moving on from this game now, you have another home game before you get back on the road. So looking at Cal Poly, there's a little bit of history there between the Mustangs and the Roadrunners. Can you tell me about how exciting that is to kind of bring that tradition and history back, because that you guys haven't played each other in some time?
Yeah, when I first got here, we played them, but obviously it was in a non-conference game, and we were independent at the time, and we played a home and home against them, and we were fortunate that we won both games. So I'm sure their coach, he had just gotten the job. I'm sure he, is really excited about bringing his team here. We have fans that are used to the old rivalry, so a lot of fans have been talking this week about this game, and hopefully we'll have a great crowd. For me, everyone I coach against is a rival to me because I just want to win so bad. And but I'm sure it's going to be special for, we're going into the Big West 2020, so to get a good start about playing a team that's in our conference. I'm sure there's a lot of talking and bragging, out in the streets some, but really I'm just want our team to get better. That's what we've been trying to do. Again, that's how I said I was really pleased with the way we played the other night against Lamar. We're finishing up finals, so I'm obviously concerned of, how our guys are going to handle finishing up finals, but should be an exciting game. They're well coached, they got some good players, and I'm sure between now and game time, someone will send me an email or call me about the rivalry, so I'll get fired up about that.
Maybe some more dunks, we'll see. And the eye test with the Mustangs, they have some good guard play going on, one guy in particular. What are you looking at then as maybe a challenge with this team?
Well, that is a challenge. I mean, Donovan Fields is really fast. He really scores it. And then they have two perimeter guys that play alongside him that can shoot the three. It's a hard matchup from the standpoint of you got a point guard that's a scoring point guard, but the guys that playing opposite him on both sides can shoot the basketball. The big kid they got inside, Hollingsworth, is solid just in his play. Guy just kind of gets the rebound. So the makeup of their team and the chemistry of their team, and they're well coached. They're a team that you're going to have to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. So we're going to have to really be disciplined in our play and play with a lot of focus for the entire game.
Well, you guys are riding momentum, and we always talk about being at home always feels good, we know, for the team. Yeah. So that's going to be good. And then you hit the road, and you're going to finish out your holiday season up in the Northwest.
Yes.
So looking at, we were just talking about that travel. It's a quick turnaround. Do you see that maybe as a little bit of issue? Because traveling has been rough for the Roadrunners this year.
It has been. The last travel we had, we moved hotels, flights. We had to drive in the snow. So hopefully all of that stuff happens because we won the last time out against Idaho. But it is a quick turnaround. But I think our team is mature enough that, and I think we're on momentum, especially if we can win the Cal Poly game. I think we'll go up there with a lot of confidence. And obviously, if we can get to the break with this team, having just, undefeated at home, when lost 4 games, it would be a good mark for us. It'll be a good start for us. And I'm hoping that, we can get up there and play well. I think if we do that, we'll be okay.
Yeah, because we're gonna mention them. So you have a game in Portland first, but then Gonzaga. They've been having a stellar year, that is for sure. So when you look up at that matchup, we've talked about this early on. I mean, you don't look too far ahead, but now it's right around the corner. What have you been looking at as maybe the biggest challenge, and as always, a learning lesson you hope to take from that game? And are the guys prepared for that big stage once again?
Well, first of all, I'll try to get our guys, I think that they know we're going to Portland State because really they get a chance to go home after that. So I would not be very sensitive, thoughtful if I didn't think that they are not thinking about Portland State and getting home.
Right.
But, they've talked about it off and on, but I'm trying to win a Cal Poly game, so I'm stressing focus on those guys. But obviously they've played twice on TV. I've gotten a chance to watch them. They're long, they're athletic, they're skilled. I mean, they could easily be the #1 team in the country right now. And they might end up being the #1 team in the country. So yeah, so we got our work cut out. But again, the challenge of it, trying to put a game plan together, is always fun when you play those type of teams, because you're gonna have to really be on top of your P's and Q's, and you're gonna have to really get the guys ready. So I'm looking forward to that. But we got a lot of work between now and then. So I'm more focused on tomorrow night's game.
Yeah, and I'll just say this: it's always a good test, right? When you're playing as an underdog against a team like that, it's a good test to see where you're at. So we'll check in with you at that time when that time comes.
Yes.
But before that, just what is the challenge there as the coach to get them focused? I don't know, you know your guys better than I do, but I would think sometimes with players, you look at those bigger games down the stretch, you kind of get more excited about those games, but you got to stay focused, because if you don't, you could let these 2 games slip away from you before you even get there. Yeah. So how do you keep your guys focused on what is right ahead?
Well, I've tried hard, even at the beginning of the year, because I knew we were going to have some games like that. I knew the USC game would bring a lot of fanfare and hype around it. I knew the Gonzaga game, but I've been telling our guys, for us to reach our goals, it's every day. And we want to get to the NCAA tournament. We can't look 2 weeks from now, or even later this week. It was today's practice, and trying to tell them, listen, we can't look past Cal Poly. We can't look past today, because if we're a team that we're not experienced enough, we don't have enough size, to not focus on every day, every practice, every minute we're on the court. It's important for us, because we're not the most talented team, that we're going to play against. Obviously, we're not as talented as, Gonzaga and USC and those type of people. But even people in our league, we need to get better. Grand Canyon is playing well. New Mexico State is playing well. Seattle is playing well. Utah Valley is playing well. Rio Grande Valley is having a good year. So we're going to have to really, really, get better to win our league. But that's our goal. So just trying to tell them and focus on today. Tomorrow, it'll be all about Cal Poly. And really, as in the preseason, I've been concerned about us. I keep telling them, hey, we got to be concerned about us. And right now, we still have the things we need to work on and get better at. So that's our focus. But, hey, they're 18, 23-year-olds. I'm sure they've marked Gonzaga down on their calendar and what they want to do to them and all of that kind of stuff. But as a coach, we try to keep them grounded on just today.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, speaking of focus.
Yes.
I always try to bridge this in whatever funny way I can.
Yeah.
The focus is really going on you, because this is my favorite part. Put you in the hot seat, called The Breakdown with Barnes. But at the end, I have a little bit of a gift, because I'm in the Christmas holiday spirit, so I'm going to be giving.
Yes.
But before we get there.
I know what you, okay.
No, but first, I'll say I'll do a holiday-themed breakdown.
All right.
That makes it simple, right?
Okay, let's make it simple.
All right, so Christmas season, Christmas music, we can hear it throughout a couple stations in town. What's your all-time favorite Christmas song?
Oh, wow.
I know. There's a lot. They're probably...
Yes, there are a lot. Probably The Silent Night.
Okay.
Yeah. That's probably...
Okay, that was your shortest response ever. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I love this time. I love the songs.
Right.
I love everything around this time of the year. So, all of the songs I get into. My wife jokes me sometimes, because I'll just be in the house playing Christmas music, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I just want to feel like a kid again," And I know Santa's not coming down the chimney. I know Rudolph not landing on the roof, but just let me have my moment of feeling like it's Christmas time.
Yeah, the spirit of Christmas.
Yes.
I think we all love that.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, what's your favorite memory from a Christmas?
Oh, wow.
Doing the deep dive.
Oh, that's a tough question. My favorite memory, I can't remember the year, but it was the only time that we've had our family together. I mean, my whole family.
Yeah.
And I think it was probably 2006 or 7 or something like that, where everyone was there. Because normally we're in and out. Either I'm not there, my wife having to go visit her family, or my boys aren't there, or my mother's not there. That particular Christmas, we got a chance to get everyone there, and we took pictures. So that was probably favorite time for me because everyone was there. We're always missing someone, as strange as it may be, or they'd be missing me because I'm gone. But that was probably the favorite time for me because we actually got to spend 2 or 3 days together. It's like this Christmas, my son Brandon, who works in the G League, he's got to leave Christmas Day. So he's going to catch a flight because he's got to get back to his team. So we won't even actually get a chance to spend Christmas Day together with him. So we got to celebrate on the 24th if we celebrate it. Knowing my wife, my mother don't want to celebrate it the day before, so that's what happens a lot to us, but that was probably my favorite.
Yeah, and speaking of that, wouldn't it be better if sports got a little bit of a break during the Christmas season, or do you appreciate the team getting to play during the holidays? Because I've always been a little bummed. I mean, I chose sports as my life, or more so, sports chose me. But yeah, it's always been a bummer that sports, the big games and your games, things always fall in the holiday season. Yeah. So, hot take, would you wish that there could be a break?
You know, I don't. I don't, because our guys are getting 4.5 days, maybe 5 days off. So now you're going to have to start all back over with the chemistry and conditioning, and I would just rather go straight through. You know, I like it for our players. I mean, I think they need a break. I think they need to go home. And that's the time when most of the time coaches are most concerned, because when we get back, what we got to do, you go and look back over all the film that you played previously. So it's really no downtime in a sense. And because it's worked for me all of these years, I was just like for it probably to continue, you know, the way it is. But I do understand, and I do like for our kids to get home, see their families, spend some time with them. But so it's kind of catch-22.
Right. At the end of the day, right, you guys are a family. So it's kind of like you get a second family to celebrate the holiday with.
Sure.
So a big part of this holiday season is giving. And what do you think is the best advice you've ever gave a player? Or you could turn it around of what do you think was the best received advice that you gave a player, that you really saw the change happen when you gave that advice?
Well, I think it happens every year because a lot of the players that I've coached over the years, for whatever reason, there's 2 or 3 guys that, you know, I'm telling them about being a man, taking the role in leadership. So I'm always telling them about reconcile with your family, be thankful, you know, whether it's your brother, your mother, your dad, you may be at odds with, they're not there, forgive them, because I think love over, you know, conquers all ills or problems. And so I'm telling them all the time, and I guess some of the favorite moments for me is to see those guys forgive whoever, or let the offense of whatever happened, to let it go, and to see them grow from that. A lot of times during Christmas, it's a time that I can kind of counsel them in that way, you know, and talk to them about, hey, you going home. A lot of times we all have family. We go home, first couple of days are good days, and then after that, we become family, you know what I mean? So I tell them, hey, it's a short period of time you're going to be with them. Make it happy, give them love, forgive them, and move forward, because someone has to take that role. And I think that's my job as a coach, to help them grow from young men to men. So that's the kind of talk that we have most of the time, and it's worked. You know, a lot of guys have come back and say, Coach, I'm glad you told me because I was gonna, you know, do whatever, I was gonna say whatever, but I thought about what you said. So, and that's what I'll continue to do.
Well, I'll say this, and I sincerely mean it. He gives me good advice every week.
So you're going home.
Yes.
So, I want to tell you, make sure that you're the happiest, most loving, most thankful person in your family, so you'll leave a mark, no matter what mom or dad may say.
I was going to say, now mom and dad listen.
Whatever they may do that may offend you, take it as from a loving viewpoint, and just get back here. And they could say, oh man, we were so excited she was here. We had a great time.
I'm going to do my best, but I will say this, going home always fills my heart and spirit, so I'll come back full. I'm going to be gone, and we'll just say this, I'll be gone next week, so we won't have a Runners Recap next week, but I'll come back with a full heart the following week to catch up. And I mentioned a gift. So we did our 4 questions. My gift to you is you can ask me anything you want for the 5th question. So take you out of the hot seat. That is my Christmas gift to you.
Okay.
But it puts you back in the spotlight.
It put me back in the spotlight to say, okay, well, my question to you is, if you had one thing that you would like to receive as a Christmas gift from your parents.
Okay. Dang, I know how you feel now. Instantly, I'm like, my seat's burning. Okay, one thing I'd like to receive. Your
parents are watching.
I would like to know from my parents, and this is a simple thing, because I would say love, but we give that so endlessly, so I can't say love, but I would like to know that I am making my parents proud in everything that I do. So I want to know if they could tell me that sincerely and let me know that I'm doing okay. That would be a big gift, because I think every day I try to lead my life, and I mean, I'm on my own out here independently doing things, but I love to know that they every day lead me in some way. I never forget where I came from or my family, so and that includes my sister. So all of them lead me in some way, so I hope they know, and I hope that in turn I'm making them proud.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, that was okay?
Yeah, that was okay. Now you see how I feel?
I do, Coach, I'm sorry. But it's not going to end, because I think people love this. And you know what I want to do too, because we're going to enter in the new year. I want people to send questions to me, because I've been trying to ask you a lot. I haven't covered it all yet, by no means. But
you haven't?
No, but I know you got fans out there, and so people send me questions. We'll get those questions in that breakdown with Barnes. But
that'll be great.
Yeah, well, thank you for asking such a great question.
Happy holidays. Have a great trip.
Thank you. Same to you. And then we'll see you on the other side when you get back from the Northwest. But with that, everyone, thank you for joining us for Runners Recap, and we will see you in a few weeks.